Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick little comparison here between Xiaomi 4X and the Xiaomi Mi 6, which is Xiaomi's latest high-end phone, which does have 6 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 835, and pretty much all the works. So we're going to see how the performance is here between the two handsets, see if there's a big difference. Obviously the Mi 6 is about €400, so quite a bit more expensive than the €100 4X, but could be interesting to see if it can keep up. I think straight away you can see the Mi 6 has a much higher contrast display because it's not like a greyish kind of colour here, and you do get IPS like LCD. But like the OnePlus 5, it doesn't really have much else really going for it other than the dual camera. I don't think it's fully waterproof. It has like splash proofing, and there's no high res like audio support, so they definitely need to think about these things I think going forward. But nevertheless, let's just have a look here how they do compare. So I have closed everything down on both of them. This is a 3 gig RAM model. I haven't closed everything down on that one. So you can see 3 gigs of RAM versus 6 gigs, and let's go. And let's see here. Can you see a difference? Looks a little bit snappier on the right, probably. Just a little bit. I think the Mi 6 does run the latest MIUI 8.5, which is based on Android Nougat 7.1.1. So that could be also, speeding it up a little bit here. I've got to say the actual UI differences aren't that different when you consider these are slightly different softwares. So very nice performance on the 4X. You can see even though it is a cheaper device, you don't actually notice it much in day-to-day usage. We do have some third-party stuff. Yeah, you can see a little bit more difference here, I think, when you start opening these third-party apps with the fancy graphics, etc. So, what else do we have? Amazon Music. So it's doing quite well, 4X, but if you do want the extra power, I mean, you can see it is slightly ahead overall. We can just put that power into a graph and see how it does compare here. So you can see we are getting 1.4 gigahertz processor versus 1.9, Android 6.0.1 on the 4X. So I'm just going to run this, and then we're going to skip to the end so we can see the result. Can I skip to the end here on the recording? I don't know if I can actually, because sometimes I just like to upload. It doesn't seem that I can, which is boring. But you can see the Mi 6 is going very fast here. How do I pause this? Maybe, no, it's not that one. That's very annoying. So I'm going to have to talk, I think, for the duration of this test. Hopefully the Snapdragon 435 doesn't take too long on the left. But you can certainly see in terms of the build quality here, I think it's an acquired taste really. I don't really enjoy these like glass backs too much because they do get a lot of fingerprints compared to the more frosted design, I think, which is quite good in the hand, but still, it hides the like grease accumulation. We do have a different like positioning for the fingerprint sensor, one on the back versus one on the front, which is quite weird given that it's the same manufacturer here. You do get a Type C with the higher end model versus the old type, which is a very strange decision as well. Obviously on the back you do get a dual camera with the Mi 6, which also I think has like a better telescopic zoom than the OnePlus 5 apparently. I think it's optically image stabilized or something, so that's what they've been saying in regards to the camera. you can see, in terms of the benchmark, the Mi 6 is definitely crunching through this a lot faster overall, and will probably finish much sooner. So I think also Xiaomi is coming out with a Mi 6 Plus as well soon. But what's the real point in that? They should just focus, I think, on the new bezel-less version of the, what was the previous one? It was the Mi Mix, obviously. But I think there's a Mi Mix 2, but it doesn't really have the most up-to-date specs, I don't think. I think it still has like the old processor, so that's quite a weird decision. Or maybe the new processor wasn't available in time. So I think we're coming nearly to the end here on the Mi 6. So I think we got there in the end, and as you can see, there is a massive difference in terms of the scores here, with the Mi 6 scoring nearly like 3 times as much for the single core, and nearly, about 3 times as much as well for the multi-core. So in terms of your benchmark, I think the entry-level processors are not very good day to day, but you can see actually using the phones there isn't that much difference, so that is quite a contradiction. But nevertheless, we can just have a look at the web browsing here. So let's just go to a website such as GSM Arena, the old classic. You can see a little bit of snap here on the left here, and that is interesting because it doesn't support 5G band. But you can see going into it, I think the Mi 6 quickly catches up. Verge, old Verge. I don't want to show my location. What is this? So yeah, again you can see nice and snappy on the right here with that new shiny processor. You see the pictures take quite a while to load actually, which is annoying. But nevertheless, I think you get the job done when it comes to the web browsing. I just wish you'd put 5G in there. Nevertheless, let's have a look at the multitasking. So you wouldn't expect any issues with the Mi 6, latest software and 6 gigs of RAM. And you can see both of them pretty similar here. I'm not sure if the buttons at the bottom on the 4X actually light up, but it would be helpful because you can barely see them. The writing isn't very good. Although I think I do prefer them to the Mi 6s, which are like just dots. They could mean anything. So you can see very similar here in terms of multitasking, which is good. I think the previous version of MIUI was actually better in terms of the multitasking. You can see it came up with the receptacle a bit faster. And did it hold the games in memory? I didn't actually do games with this one actually, so no games with this one. But you can see in terms of the third-party apps, nice and stable. Absolutely no difference. So I'm quite impressed actually with the 4X, the value that it does offer in terms of the multitasking, etc. I think it's done pretty well here. And for saying that the high-end Mi 6 doesn't have some of the fancy stuff like you do expect, like full waterproofing, etc. I don't really think it offers an amazing improvement over the 4X kind of phone here. But I think in terms of if you're looking for power, then you're going to get that. It's running quite hot here with the Mi 6. That's another thing I've noticed with high-end phones. They seem to run a lot hotter than the lower-end phones, which this one's really cool at the back. So it's not. I think it's more energy efficient But nevertheless, I think you can see here quite interesting result. I think the 4X has pretty much done quite well. I think they should retire the 4 series of processors though. I think the 6 series should be kept on going forward. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here, Xiaomi Redmi 4X and the Mi 6. If you've got any questions, do let me know, and we'll certainly check it out.